Good evening. I decided I wanted to be an architect at the age of 13. I had had the opportunity to visit Hampi. There was something magical and something about the ruins of this great city that had been the capital of the empire of Vijayanagar. This allowed me as a 13-year-old to imagine a story of people, a culture, a way of life which had existed before a war that ravaged this mighty empire. The ruins of this great city lay strewn around. I was amazed how this city was built from the extraordinary granite. The topography of Hampi is as magnificent as the structures that exist there. I'm 38 today, but that was my eureka moment. A site which had no life left in it, but which has lived on because of its extraordinary beauty and creativity. At 13, my young mind had decided and figured out a creative way to experience something which would change my life forever. Creativity is all around us, but how we interact with it, absorb it all, and get inspired by it depends on us as individuals. Creativity, as we know, is not just for artists. It's for business people looking for a new way to sell something, for engineers trying to resolve something and find a solution for a problem. It is for parents who want their children to see the world in more than just one way. Glass ceilings, in many ways, at least for me, are personal manifestations of our own insecurities, and sometimes, of course, they are restrictions being imposed by the external factors. A great Spanish architect, Gaudi, was inspired by objects found in nature. He had his own creative way of looking at them. Who would have imagined that the top cross-section of a fossilized marine ammonite would be his inspiration for the amazing staircase he would design? That the study of skeletal rib structures of humans would enable him to invent the structure for Casa Milà in Barcelona? His creative mind had no glass ceilings, at least I don't think so. And if they were there, he seemed to have broken many. I want to share a story with you which is close to my heart and has a lot to do with breaking physical and metaphoric glass ceilings. The interior designer and restorer Sunita Kohli started designing in 1972, and she has no idea I'm going to say this about her, but anyways, she attended Loreto Convent in Lucknow and then went on to do her BA Honours in English Literature from Lady Shri Ram College in New Delhi. She then returned to Lucknow to the university there to do her Masters in English. While she was doing her master's, she also got a degree in Hindustani classical music. For entertainment, she took part in theater and modeled for products and worked as a copywriter. In 1972, after getting married, a year earlier, she started her own interior design firm. In 1975, the Oberoi group of hotels approached her to design a hotel for them in Khajuraho. This 18th century Batti Uthao was bought by her from a street vendor in Khajuraho. It is used for raising the cotton wicks of lighted lamps to ensure that they do not burn out and drown in the oil. This small and beautiful piece of artistic design found in everyday objects opened an entirely new aspect of creative thinking. It inspired her to not only be rooted in the culture of the country and the area she was designing. In 1992, she was conferred the Padma Shri. This woman happens to be my mother, and I'm gladly to say she is here. But in my view, she has broken many glass ceilings, or perhaps just worked very, very hard and got over her reservations and insecurities, not just as a human being, but as an artist, a designer, and most importantly, as a woman. These slides that have gone by are folk dancers. I'm going to talk to you about Meera Nayyar, a wonderful film director who I had the privilege of meeting and has also won the Padma Bhushan. She said to me once that she knew at a very early age that she wanted to become a filmmaker because she lived in a town called Bhubaneswar, and they had traveling folk dancers come in who performed theater. Where would we be without Monsoon Wedding today? Richard Serra, the talented award-winning sculptor who moves people with his work, started off as an artist and not a sculptor. One day, after viewing a painting by an artist who had been dead for over 40-odd years, he decided to pack up his paint material and brushes, and today he's a sculptor whose work moves us and makes us the subject of his art. To be creative and to break glass ceilings exists for all of us almost at some point of time or another. Sometimes the most basic human level, and other times when one is trying to push the limits and challenge oneself. Creativity is about what we see and what we believe in. It's about how we handle loss, hardship, death, and challenges. I want to end by talking about something that has resonated with me. These photographs are of the Muse Museum in Berlin, which I visited 2 years ago, and has been restored and designed by David Chipperfield. The original structure had been badly destroyed during the World War. When you walk around, you see old and new. David Chipperfield has gone into the space as a wanderer, an artist, and an architect, using his strokes of creativity while allowing the old to live on and embracing the new wherever he needed to. This, for me, is creativity. It reminds me how we live in the cycle of destruction, but we still have to create, about putting the pieces together and breaking through whatever glass ceilings that may exist and are temporarily holding us back. For me, creativity is all about passionate optimism and ensuring I stay sane while bringing up my teenage daughter and son. This previous slide, we were all there. Today, as parents, we have to be creative and adaptive while giving them the opportunity to fly whilst keeping them grounded. So yes, there are many glass ceilings, some imagined, some lingering and waiting to be broken, and some as reminders of what we have achieved and what we are yet to imagine and create. Thank you.